Hi guys, Dylan with Salmon River Tactics. So, we're into September now, and September is National Preparedness Month. Not a huge fan of all these. Every month has its own. It's not just one. There's like 10 for each month of what they're meant to be or whatever. But September is National Preparedness Month. So, I will be running 3 classes this month. Or trying to. So if you're local, either in central New York or upstate New York, and you are looking for, I will be doing a NRA basic pistol class, and then which is out, will be on the 24th, which is a Wednesday. It's an 8-hour class. Overall, it is a basic level class for a entry level person getting into shooting a pistol. This is something that you have gone out under New York law. You are going to have to obtain your pistol license and a pistol in order for me to teach this class. This is not, and I will repeat, this is not the 18-hour class to get your license. This is if you already have your license and you want a basic level class that involves range time and going in depth on the basics of a pistol or revolver. It's an 8-hour class from 9 in the morning until 5 at night, 5 in the afternoon. I'll cap it at 5, because I'm only one person, I think. For these type classes, whether it's firearms or kind of your survival type classes, 5 people is what I cap them at. It's what I feel comfortable. It's a small group. I can do one-on-one with people if needed. I can pay attention. I can give people the time and the effort and the skills reasonably with that crowd. Any more than that, it can get out of hand. So as one person, I cap them at 5. Other classes that aren't as intricate, if I'm doing, say, a pepper spray class, by regulations of Saber, who I do it through, they cap that at 12, so that's the most I can teach. Ideally, I do a little less, but yeah, that's, for the kind of class that is, that's reasonable. For, say, an active shooter class that I do through Alert, I do a crazed class. That can range from a 1-hour little short thing to a 4-hour long session of going real in depth on how to prepare for such a thing. And those type classes where it's a lot of PowerPoint and Q&A stuff or scenario based and working together in groups, a class of 10 or 20 people, that might be where that is applicable. But going back to this real quick. So that NRA class would be that Wednesday. It's PowerPoint based, but also at the end for about an hour, depending on the size of the class, hour should be enough. We'll go out to the range on my property here, run you through the qualifications so you can shoot and become proficient in marksmanship. And we'll go into how there is a difference between marksmanship shooting and defense shooting. Marksmanship, I want to have my fundamentals. I want to be, if I can, I want to be putting holes, touching holes, and making one big hole. I want my accuracy to be narrowed down to, ideally, all my shots are within the size of my fist or tighter. Defensive shooting, when you're shooting a man-sized target because there is a threat to your life or a family member or a friend's life, I don't need pinpoint accuracy. I need to be accurate enough to that all my shots are hitting center mass, all right, the intended target, but I'm also pressed for time because there is an active threat to me or someone else. And understanding that difference. Okay, when you're on the range for this class, there is no time limit. I want you to focus on the fundamentals. If you're using iron sights, have a good grip, good stance, that front sight focus, good trigger press, reset, and put all your shots within that 4-inch circle. The next day, Thursday, I'll be doing 2 classes. First one from 9 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon, basic survival class. And that's going to be an overview of gear and equipment, skills of firecraft and sheltercraft, how to purify water, general senses of direction, with and without a compass, understanding terrain features, some basic first aid things, understanding mindset, okay? Come from the background of doing search and rescue. Come from the background of doing search and rescue for the last 9 going on 10 years. Mindset goes hand in hand with preparedness, okay? Obviously, if you're going on a day trip, depending where you're going, you're going to want, snacks, water, some basic supplies of, maybe a compass, your cell phone that's fully charged, and maybe a battery pack for that cell phone, pocket knife, some basic things on a very simple trip to get you through. Something happens though, you need to be able to go back to certain skills that have practiced and understand, but also having a mindset of knowing your capabilities, understanding that you might be beyond your capabilities, you might have made a mistake, which happens, but not to panic, having the confidence that you can do certain things, that you know certain things, because a lot of times when we have to go looking for people, it's not only they weren't prepared for whatever they got into. Number 2, it's a mindset. They panic. They start wandering aimlessly and getting themselves even more lost, maybe. If you go into things, this is just life overall, if you go into things with a positive mindset, a basic understanding of kind of human nature, of that if we start to panic, we're going to make bad decisions. Our heart rate's going to race. We're going to have an adrenaline dump. We're going to get tunnel vision. We're going to start making decisions that are not rational. And that is where you get into trouble. So if we can learn basic skills that you can go home and practice, but at the end of the day, if I can leave you with nothing more than understanding that you need to have a positive mindset when you're going out in the woods or going out on whatever adventure you choose to do. Um, and I'll relate this real quick to martial arts. Over the years, even though I have training, I have 10 years of between karate, Muay Thai, and Krav Maga. Those were kind of the three styles I trained in. You ever get into a situation where you have to use that, you are going to have a mental shift. Your body's going to start reacting and producing hormones, and you need to know how to recognize that, address it, and utilize what your body is doing to your advantage. That tunnel vision you get, the adrenaline you get, the heart rate going through the roof because you're amped up and you need to defend yourself, or in a survival sense you realize, okay, I just twisted my ankle really bad and I can't walk, but I still have battery in service on my cell phone. I'm going to make a phone call to get someone out looking for me, but I need to understand my situation of this is what I'm in. I have a twisted or a broken foot, broken ankle. Am I prepared to splint that and try to walk? Or do I have to make the mental decision of aid-wise, for what I have on me and my skill level, I can't do anything, and I have to stay put? Am I prepared enough to where I can make that phone call and hopefully have service to do so for help, whether it's locally and I can get a family member to me, or I make that 911 call and say, hey, I'm stuck, I have a twisted ankle, I'm in the state park and I'm on Etz Trail. Hopefully that's enough to get you help within about an hour and get you out. But if you're in the backcountry and you're off trail, you might be waiting there a couple hours at a minimum. Do I have enough supplies and skills, and am I dressed appropriately for the weather to withstand 3 hours and 20 degrees waiting for help to come get me out with a broken ankle? If we can learn some basic skills, basic mindset, that's going to help a lot of people out. It increases your chances of surviving a bad incident. And the more we teach, kind of from a search and rescue point of view, the more the public understands basic skills, good mindset, how to reach help when needed. It all goes back to increasing that subject's chances of a speedy recovery, for one. Number two, a successful recovery where that person survives and is in good health. The second class for that day is going to be a land navigation class, just basic intro, map and compass, how to read a map, different aspects to the map, how to use a compass, understanding that compass and its capabilities. True north, magnetic north, what's the difference? How do you get the difference? Your declination, which is usually on a map. Basic introduction to GPS's, applications on your phone, like OnX or Google Maps or Caltopo, what we use in search and rescue. How to find bearings, how to take a bearing, pacing, right? Understanding your paces. If you're in terrain that would allow for that. And understanding that in certain terrain, your pace is going to be, I don't want to say useless, but not what you think it is. If you do 20 paces for 100 yards, I'm just throwing a number out there. On flat ground, when you go into the woods and you're going through hilly terrain, or you're going around trees and marshes and crap, your pace is going to be a lot different. So both those classes that day, they're 4 hours each. If you're going to take both, there's going to be an hour break in between. And I'll give breaks during those classes as well, for snacks or drinks or bathrooms. But especially that day, that day is going to be a plethora of skills and knowledge, and I will do my best to explain things as many times as I need to, as simply as I need to, for you guys to understand. You guys will walk away with some cheat sheets and guides, because I will throw a lot of information at you, and I don't expect you to go home and remember everything. But hopefully I give you enough to have a good base that when you do go home, you can practice it. And over time, you can get enough skills to maybe teach your family or teach a friend. Because the more people that learn these skills, the better off you're going to be in the woods. The better off you're going to be when something goes bad. And the more helpful you're going to be as a subject to a rescuer trying to find you. Because you're going to be prepared. You're going to have a good mindset. You're going to understand maybe where the rescuers are coming from and what they are going to do to find you, and their skills and their technologies that they're going to try and utilize to find you. So if you're interested in any of that, whether it's the pistol class on the Wednesday or the 2 survival type classes that Thursday, visit the website, call me, I'll get you squared away. Cost for the NRA class, it's an 8-hour class, it's going to be $130 per student. Might sound like a lot, but again, it is 8 hours, it's a long class. Especially if you're, if I have a class of 5 and they're all newbies, yeah, it's going to take the whole 8 hours. Part of that cost is that I have to buy your guys as students, I have to buy your student manual and book and stuff like that. So I have a cost going into it. Part of your fee that I charge you covers that cost, as well as my time and insurance and all that stuff. The survival classes, they're 4 hours apiece. Gonna be, usually I'll do it on my land if I can. It's $100 a class. If you're gonna do both in the same day, instead of $200 for both classes, it'll be $150. You're gonna save $50 if you do both. It's gonna be a long day, but it's gonna be good. Good skills, good knowledge, good learning experience. So reach out to the website or reach me by phone number and we'll get you registered. Again, classes are limited to 5 people per class. Go out there, get training, whether it's through me or through another instructor in your local area. Even if you money's tight, I know. Budget for one class a year. Go learn something. Even if it's just once a year, you go out and you take a day off of work and you learn a skill. And it doesn't even have to be stuff like this. It could be go out and take a college class. Go out and take something that's going to give you a new certificate for your career. Go do something to better yourself every year. Because you don't want to go into that next year and regret that you didn't do something last year. If you can do one thing, just go do one thing a year. Better yourself. And over time, you're going to become a better human, a better parent, a better employee, an asset to your community. But hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. Take care.